I work with a lot of people who have what I would call a love-hate relationship with money. Maybe you'll be able to relate. On one hand, they love money. They love having it. They love spending it. They love the things they can do with money. They want more of it. And on the other hand, they can't stand it. They hate it. They don't like to deal with it. They don't like to think about it. They hate paying bills. They hate having to see where things are financially. At some point, they've probably said, I wish I just had enough money that I never had to think about money again. But that kind of love-hate relationship with money does not support you to experience the well-being, the freedom, the fulfillment, the growth, the abundance that you're meant to experience, my friend. It doesn't support you to fully be the unique human being you were created to be with unique gifts you are meant to share with the world. You see, one of the reasons so many people have a hate relationship with money is because maybe money's not going the way they want it to go. Maybe they're in debt. Maybe they're not making a lot of money. Maybe they see that they're spending too much money. They're not where they think they should be financially. And so every time they think about money, that's in their face and they don't like to feel it. Deeper than that, though, what has so many people have a hate relationship with money and maybe an unhealthy love relationship with money is because they've identified with their money. At a conscious or subconscious level, they get their worth, their value, their validation from money. So if money's going well, then they're good, they're happy, they're confident, they're feeling successful. But if money's not going so well, then they're deficient, defective, not enough, scared, ashamed, embarrassed. Any chance you can relate to this? I'm going to invite you today to set aside the love-hate relationship you might have with money, even if you've never named it that before, and begin to see money and your relationship with it as one of the most powerful and important teachers you've ever had. Here's what I mean by that. And I'm going to quote an author, Ted Clance. It's one of my favorite quotes about money. He says something to the effect: every behavior around money, no matter how healthy or dysfunctional, makes perfect sense when you understand the underlying beliefs a person has about money. And I'm going to add to that, and has about themselves, and even deeper, has about God, the source of all life and abundance. Every behavior, no matter how healthy or dysfunctional, makes perfect sense when you take into effect and recognize the underlying beliefs that we bring to our relationship with money. And one of the biggest and deepest beliefs that we bring to our relationship with money, it's something we've inherited collectively, and it impacts our relationship with ourselves, money, and our God, is this belief that's been built into our world culture of scarcity. It's what I call the archetype of scarcity. We've forgotten that abundance is the divine blueprint of this universe. It's the foundation of this universe. Abundance is our DNA, and we engage in our relationship with money from a scarcity perspective, even if we're not aware of it, which is why when money is going great, we feel good about ourselves, and when it's not, we don't feel so good about ourselves, because we've got this deeper, somehow our money makes us enough or not enough, which can create this love-hate relationship with it. So what do I mean by it's really your best teacher? Well, it goes right back to that Ted Clance quote. Every behavior around money makes sense when you recognize the underlying, usually subconscious beliefs we have and we bring to money about ourselves, about life, about the world, about abundance, about the source of all life and abundance. When you get that statement from Ted Clance, suddenly there's nothing to be ashamed of. There's nothing bad or wrong. It's just, it makes sense. It's like, oh, of course, of course. We can drop our judgment. We can drop our shame. We can drop our temporary but false sense of confidence that money gives us. And we can just be present to what's so within us that's being reflected outward in our relationship with money and thus the results we have. When you can get this, now money becomes your friend because it offers you a mirror that's going to give you an opportunity to reflect. It's going to reflect back to you what's here. And if here you've got inaccurate perceptions of scarcity, beliefs in scarcity about money, about yourself, about life, about anything, well, that's going to get reflected and expressed in your relationship with money and your financial results. But without money holding up that mirror, you may never become aware of what's going on here. And so money is what I call this sacred mirror, inviting you to see the places within yourself that are wanting to be healed, are wanting to grow, are the places where you need to embrace and accept abundance within you and around you, where before you've believed and embraced and acted from scarcity. This is the work, my friends. Now, this money mirror, that quote from Ted Clance, it applies to you. It applies to me individually. Believe me, it's also true for me. And I'm still looking in the mirror and seeing new places for healing and growth. But it's also true for us collectively. When you look and see how collectively our institutions and our governments, et cetera, the relationship they have with money, you'll see that it's a lot of it is rooted in scarcity or fear of scarcity. That's a gift inviting us as a collective to see what needs to be healed for us to be participants in an abundant universe instead of unwilling victims of a world of scarcity. What if instead of loving and hating money, chasing it and avoiding it, pursuing it and ignoring it, what if you began to think of money as your greatest teacher? What if you committed to money, like a person you might be in relationship with, to say, I want to be in relationship with you because you have something to offer me. You have something I can learn from you. You have something to teach me. You are somehow going to help me become a better version of me. Isn't that a game changer? That's the game changer I invite you into, my friend. Now, I have to admit, from firsthand experience as well as 28 years working with my clients, it's hard sometimes. It's scary. It's painful at times to look in that mirror and be willing to see what it wants to show us. And then to do the work that's necessary for our healing, right? But it's even harder when you try and do it by yourself. It's one of the things I say again and again and again. Abundance is not a solo sport. It's not a do-it-yourself project. So if this idea of, wow, money could be my greatest teacher, money could be my greatest healer, if I can only have the courage to look and see what it's saying, if I can only have the gifts to be able to understand what it's showing me and learn how to heal in the ways it's inviting me to heal, oh, I want that. That's a different way of relating to money. That's the work I do with all of my clients, most of all with my one-on-one clients, but with everyone. And so if this is resonating with you, if you're tired of this love-hate relationship and you want to let money be your teacher and your healer so you can fully be who you were created to be, I would love to connect with you. And what I would encourage you to do by way of connection is to schedule what I call a breakthrough for abundance discovery call with me, because then I'm going to ask you some questions that are going to help you see what your mirror may be showing you that you haven't seen, or you've been afraid to see, or you don't know what to do with once you see it. Because seeing it, my friends, is the beginning of your breakthrough. It's the beginning of your healing. It's the beginning of your growth. It's the beginning of you having a new, more abundant experience of and relationship with money, with yourself, with the world around you, and with whatever name you give to the source of all life and abundance, God, Spirit, Source. What do you think? Want to start to let money teach you, guide you, befriend you, heal you? Begins by you saying yes. And then I say, getting support. That's what I'm here for. Schedule that Breakthrough for Abundance discovery call right now. That's all it is, my friend. It's me helping you look in that mirror and see what you haven't been seeing. It's showing you. Got it? Click on the link in the show notes. I'll look forward to a one-on-one connection with you real soon.